Hello, people. This will be my again. I can't talk right now. This will be my level showcase. As you can see, we have a really cool new thing. Let me just turn this down for you guys. Boom, boom. All right. So this will be a my level showcase for Sprint 2, which was just to build out a single level block mesh and then test it out, iterate on it, and do some things. So let us begin. I don't think when I this is my level here. These abilities are just they were just here because when I beat this build last. But let me go in and begin. So, first things first, I need to talk about flow and pacing. And so, originally, when I kind of built this room a little bit differently, originally this was kind of like open space, but I wanted to like put the player in a spot. If you can tell, I kind of have the player like fall down and then start. And immediately, the first thing you see is like a coin line leading you off outside. And if you look, it's over to the right. And another thing, visual cohesion. Um, I when I build, I kind of want samey things to be samey, and so there's like a thing like so it's hard to explain, but I really want a nice pattern. So floor is black, and then walls are red, and then speedrun walls, not speedrun, wall run walls are yellow, and I kind of stuck with that kind of theme. Let me just get out here and I can show. I need to get up so I can show kind of the what I mean on like a grand scale. I can't get up here. Hold on, let me get up and around this thing so I could show what I mean for the rest of the level. Okay, so yeah, now that I'm up here, walls are red over here. Walls are red, and then like the floor is black and all that stuff. That's just how I like to build in general when it comes to like theme and like making sure things make sense for like how things are laid out. So, um, next is feedback. There's not really that much feedback here yet because this is like the starting area. And then we have progression, and I will showcase that progression right now. For player choice, there's not really that much choice in this level because it is like kind of like a beginning level. So let's just get through here. Jump, jump, jump. And so now, once you finish these, once you do these first jumps, I had rebuilt this kind of section like kind of 4 times because originally the jumps were you had to kind of jump on the up on the wall to gain height, and I personally didn't really have an issue with it because I'm used to stuff like that, and it's also like I built it. But I kind of got feedback by my professor and a couple of playtesters that you know, most people might not do that. Most people like might be like, man, why can't I make this jump? I'm jumping and at the right spot, but I still can't get in. And most players might not be able to do that kind of tech to jump up the wall like that on the same wall like repeatedly, which is why I kind of rebuilt these walls and then added these 2 extra walls that so no matter where you are, like no matter how low or high you are on the wall, you will get inside of here every single time as long as you make that first jump right there. So let's get in here. Jump up, jump up. All right. Now that we are in here, this is the up. I fell out. Let me actually get inside of here and touch the thing so I can get the checkpoint. Now that okay, my laptop kind of randomly shut down, but we are back. So whenever you get into this room houses the kind of first block for the player. So here you need to ground slam down on this platform. But if the player doesn't really know what to do, like they weren't paying attention, first thing you see is caution, fragile glass, no slamming. Players might not be reading that, but that's like another help to tell the player that hey, you gotta like do something to get down here. And if you fall down, you can't actually get out of this little pit. And so you might read the thing again, okay, caution, fragile glass on slamming, and then you might press the button to ground slam. And now you realize that, okay, well, now that this sort of glassy structure, this red glass, I can press the ability to slam down it. But if you jump, you go all the way straight down. And so now, once you get the bottom of it, you kind of bounce a little bit to get your bearings and see what's in front of you. If I were to restart and then do it again, if you hug the wall and you continue going forward, you immediately like latch onto the wall run. This has been changed, but it's not in this build. So this little lip section that blocks you from like flying straight out has been removed. So Mac, imagine that's not there, and you just do straight up that. So let's get down here and do the ground slam. Here, just another simple wall run. And then from here, you're supposed to jump and click the dash button to get across. For some reason, I have noticed that players like kind of fail this jump. They'll like wait to the last second. I didn't do it right. Some people will wait to the very, very, very last second to press dash, and then they'll fall straight down and die, like that. But that's a way of the dash how it works. If you're it runs, I'm not really like too sure on it, but I know it runs based on velocity. And if you're falling down and then dash, you're trying to fight your own velocity, which won't really work like that. Why is Razor popping up on my computer? All right, anyway, we jump in here, and now we're in the first room with the enemy. My original design for this was to put the katana pickup, like weapon pickup, right here. But then while you're running up the stairs, going in here, the UI element for the katana appearing on your screen would kind of block the enemy. So I just removed the katana from here and put it in the second room here. And I wanted the enemy to kind of like be near the ground slam platform. And the player might feel like there's no way to kill this guy because he has no weapon. But what the? As you can, I'm gonna show right now. You can actually deal damage with the ground slam to defeat enemies and break platforms. So come over here, click ground slam. He dies, and we also broke the floor. And now also this is gonna be the first introduction to the shield enemy. And so the shield enemy here was shown off in my group mate's previous milestone thing. You get near him, you attack him, he won't die because he's protected by the shield enemy. So we respawn down here, and then first we need to destroy the shield enemy, and then it allows us to deal with the enemies that are here. I died, I got shot. Kill this guy, and then kill this guy now. And now if you want to kill this dude over here, you can, but it's not required. Whoa, I missed. How did I miss that? All right. Kill this dude over here, go around, and then kill this guy over here. Now, there's not really a difference of where you go in this area because you still just break the ground stem you go through. And then here, you jump on this wall, jump on that wall, dash across. And here is where I kind of made a mistake in my design. So as you can see, there's a little ramp and a really, really, really big gap. And so for this section, what I wanted to show the player is that sliding gives you a lot of speed when you're going down ramps like this, and ground slamming and dashing across the gap is how you're supposed to do this. But now for this, I didn't really make it in a way to force the player to crouch, because normally people are just gonna kind of run down like this and then try to do this and dash. And they're going to be like, whoa, that's impossible. I'm supposed to do that. And it is supposed to be impossible. The only way to actually do it is to slide, ground slam, dash. But like I said, I didn't make a way to force the player to slide initially to actually go down the ramp properly. So in a future like recreation of this, I will have like a kind of like a block thing here with like a little gap to force the player to crouch into, which will then also force the player to go down the gap and get more speed. So let's do this properly. You slide down, ground slam, and then you dash across. And then as an enemy, that'll be usually like right over here. And then you just kill the guy. And then I just use the same ground slam platform here to kind of be like a vertical one. I just kind of want to like have a cool outline of it. Nothing really crazy. Let's dash across now. Kill this guy again. Ground slam. And then dash across. And then another enemy room. These guys kind of wander a lot. So I'll probably lower their available walking like radius, because I've seen playtests where like the enemy will walk over here and like the person flying in wouldn't notice that he's over here. And so let's kill this guy. Open up the entrance, hit this little launcher, get on this huge wall, then dash across, jump on that launcher. It'll take us over here. And then kind of the same hole. Let's jump down. Boom. And then we're in this last little section. Wall one, wall one, wall one. Jump across. Ground slam down. And then, oh, I failed. Let me restart. Boom. Ground slam. And then we're on to that. Dash across. And then we won. And so the time trial that I kind of set was to beat this in under 2 minutes and get 25 gems and kill 7 enemies. The gems, I kind of forgot to put the rest of them in there. So you can't even like actually do this right now. And then the 7 enemies are for if you kill every single enemy that exists in the level. So you go for a full completion. Let me just go through the this first. So I've demonstrated all of my levels. Whoa, what the? I've shown off my flow. I really wanted this kind of to be a this is intended to be a practice level, which is why some of the jumps are a little bit harder, which is why I introduced the like dashing over gaps, because I want the player to like try these things and practice these things and try and practice these things so they could get better. The first 2 levels have no enemies in them, and in order for these enemies to not feel terrible, I might just keep them stagnant, and or just change the weapon that the player uses to like become like a ranged weapon, because I do understand that sometimes players might not like dash around the enemy, which is what you're supposed to do if there's an enemy in your face. I have seen some playtesters kind of walk towards the enemy and not dash around them, and it's a little confusing to me. Like, why aren't you using the tools that you have? But I also do realize that a lot of players aren't me, and a lot of players might play the game a bit differently, and I have to just kind of consider that in mind whenever I am. Oh, Jesus, keep that in mind whenever I am like making stuff, because not everyone plays the game the same way as I do. So I'm just going to do a run through to try to get a full completion minus the gems, because you physically can't do that right now. Like I said, I also need to do a better job at showing the player and forcing the player to crouch in the crouching sections, which is over here. And I also need to just make the player want to slide in general, because even though sliding is like really good and it gives you like a lot of speed and stuff, I see a lot of my playtesters not actually slide, and it's just a tad bit confusing, because it really does give you a lot of speed, and it will definitely make runs of any level faster. But let me just get through here now. Whoop. And then there we go. We are complete. So that is all for my level showcase I want to show you guys. And whether this is first, if this video is first, hello. If it's last, I'm gonna pass it off to my group mate. Goodbye.
Hello, my name is Jaden Richards. Today I'm going to be showing off the level I created for this month's second sprint that was mainly focused on level design. Alright, here goes my new level 2. Alright, same consistency for all the levels. It's going to have an open space the player immediately sees that they're going to want to walk through. If the player wants to look around, that's okay and fine, but they won't find anything else over there. All right. So for first thing I do is reintroduce the concept that the yellow walls are supposed to be jumped off of. Then I have these leading lines with the gems to where you're supposed to go. Player will walk through this pathway and grab that power up. This pretty hard to miss now that the collision is so big, and they can go ahead and see that they have to dash. Immediately another one right here, which needs to be moved up over here. It's in a bit of a bad spot. But once they grab that, they'll be able to look around, see that, naturally move their mouse towards where this is heading, and see that this pops up. Hopefully they can realize that they can go ahead and right click and get across that, or they might just dash and just die. But right click is the way to do it. Now the player has a choice. Either they go left or they go right. Right pass seems more enticing most of the time. More leading lines. I really just want the player to grapple everywhere. Alright. I combined the grapple and the wall running. They can really do whatever they want. They can dash. Use the grapple. Not really the fastest way, but I'll the fastest way later. Alright. Actually, I'll lead the player to this. It can go ahead and go up. I tried my best to lead the player with these gifs like I always do. But this part seems a bit difficult because it goes there. So I think some improvements can be added if I add a grapple point there, or like make that actually jumpable and have it be an X route. But the intended route that I had originally was to grapple over here and then do that. Then you go here, there, and then into here. But I'll go ahead and change that in post, improve my level a bit. I think adding a grapple point there will be good because then they can wall run all the way across and then go ahead and jump over there. Thank you, buddy. Oh wait. I'm gonna go ahead and complete it and then retry it to do as fast as I possibly can. Alright, let's go. What? I fell. Most I've messed up on this front. And then finally get over here. I didn't do too well on that. Let's retry it. I have all my stuff now because I've already completed the level. Now I'm free to do whatever I want. I can bring in any other weapons. Missed it just by a bit, but there we go. That's my level.